Now, on the flip side of using Adult Swim holdovers, I suppose they could have used Toonami holdovers. They could have played Samurai Jack, Megas XLR, and the various other action cartoons that had aired on Toonami that Cartoon Network still technically owns. What are your thoughts on that, Soul?
I feel like that's true, and that in reality, I feel like they should do that. They should air at least one, if not two, of those shows. But I think the biggest thing is, yeah, some of those older action franchises might skew a little bit more towards a younger audience as it is. And if anything, all those are really doing are bringing in more, that's really just more of a nostalgic thing. Tops, I say maybe Jack, and especially Megas, I feel really would be more perfect for, well, especially Megas would be more perfect for an Adult Swim Toonami, just in terms of its its overarching jokes. And
Oh, yeah, definitely. I dream of the possibility of a new season or series of Megas XLR that looks as pretty as Motor City. That would be incredible.
Which Titmouse does. I know. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but I mean, those guys want to do a Toonami series, an American animated series on Toonami. I know they do. I think I mentioned it before, and the studio had retweeted it. I mean, it'd be great. I think the biggest thing is later on when we mention it, I want to see new American animated shows aimed at adults on Toonami, on Adult Swim's Toonami. That would be great. But in terms of just older Toonami holdovers, you know, I'd say yes. The biggest fail on Warner Brothers' part is, it's a fail, but at the same time, obviously those shows are getting new audiences. Is what Batman and Batman Beyond on the Hub. I feel like Batman the Animated Series would be perfect right now on Adult Swim's Toonami, just because in terms of that's a show that was on prime time back in.
Oh my gosh, you're saying Batman the Animated Series next to Cowboy Bebop?
Yes.
So good.
Yes. But
I feel it would be more appropriate for Big O, personally.
Well, of course the Big O would be more appropriate.
Oh, man. Yeah. Or how about all of the above? But
all of the above.
Yes.
Stick it between the two. Yes,
there you go. But, you know, unfortunately that's not going to happen because I don't know. I guess Hasbro really offered Warner a decent amount of money for those shows, but Jack, I feel, is one of those shows that could work on Boomerang or regular Cartoon Network or Adult Swim's Toonami. I think it didn't. I remember a couple of years ago, Adult Swim did a bump expressing interest. If not, it might have just been a joke on their part, as usual. That they considered throwing Jack on regular Adult Swim, but it just did not go through, I guess. But I feel like, yeah.
They also plugged Symbionic Titan when it was airing, which was something Cartoon Network didn't do a whole lot of.
Yeah, but hell, throw that show on there. Gendy's.
Yes. See, that one even has the PGV that might make it fit in. Yeah, or even, that'd work. Megas would work. OG Thundercats, because that was, that's as far back as you get for a old school Toonami show.
I'll be honest. Me and Sketch have talked about this. Having the new Thundercats on Adult Swim.
I think on the Adult Swim message boards, you have a lot of people. Bring in Young Justice, bring in Thundercats, whatever. Yeah, but at the same time, those shows are earning their ratings on regular Cartoon Network. What can you do?
Probably the only reason to move Thundercats over is if Cartoon Network kicks it out.
Yeah, that's the only way it's
I used to be way more sold on putting that on Adult Swim, but in more recent episodes, it's skewing pretty young.
Yeah, I would assume so. But at least Snarf isn't just saying Snarf, Snarf.
Oh, that's very true. Like Young Justice has a level of storytelling that would benefit Toonami, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But it's still technically intended for children. It does well with adults, so that's something to consider. But I think at most it should be in Saturday primetime, leading up to Toonami.
Yeah, that or just that's why DC Nation is there, is for those shows.
I actually have a question. Off topic, but I thought I'd ask anyways. What have they done with Snarf? Is he still just making miscellaneous noises, or...?
Yeah, he's still making noises.
Okay, I figured because that'd be weird to switch from a Japanese voice actor to... Okay.
Don't you keep up with Thundercats? Come on.
I got really behind.
But I guess that's pretty much all I really have to say about, like, older American, I mean, Cartoon Network / Turner-owned American cartoons on Toonami. It'd be nice, but they don't really have to. So that's really all I really have to say about that.
Your thoughts, John?
You know, I feel like they could work, but I don't know if that's really the audience that they really want to go for. Because I, for some reason, I almost see, like, don't get me wrong, I would love to see it on Adult, like some of their older stuff on Adult Swim that was on Toonami in the past. Sometimes I have to wonder if it would bring the wrong demographic to their blog.
That's a good point.
And
yeah, that's true.
It's kind of concerning because it has happened in the past where they have gotten higher demographics in the younger department than what they were looking for, basically.
Which I guess is a point that I guess you don't really think about because, yeah, a kid could wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning and see Thundercats or Symbionic Titan. Well, not Symbionic Titan because kids didn't watch it, did they? But Samurai Jack or etc. They see, oh, this is, hey, I think I've seen that show before. I'll watch it, and then it'll lead into reruns of it'll lead into encore presentations of Dead Man Wonderland, and that's not a kid show.
Well, my opinion on airing shows from Toonami's past that are owned by Turner and Cartoon Network, such as Samurai Jack, Symbionic Titan, Megas XLR, and any of the DC shows that they have that used to air on Toonami, like Justice League, which they may or may not have. I don't know if those rights returned to Warner yet. I think I would like to see those shows on again. I would certainly enjoy to see them on Boomerang. I believe that there is a capacity in which they could work. Say, throw them on really early in the morning, or throw them on, if they expand into primetime, they could put those on then. But at the same time, I feel like this Toonami's skewing too old, too violent for those shows to really feel like they fit in. I could go either way. Well, we have been talking for a very long time, and I think that's about all the listeners can take. So, I'd like to thank John. And Soul.
See you Space Cowboys later.
And we will continue our discussions next time on Talkin' Toonami.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Talkin' Toonami, which henceforth shall be referred to as Toonami Absolution Sessions.